Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you wanted to say something in English, but the right words just didn't come to your mind? You knew what you wanted to express, but the phrase was stuck somewhere in your head. Well, imagine how much easier and smoother life would feel if you already had a set of ready-made, natural English phrases for daily life. Not boring textbook lines, but real expressions that people actually use in conversations. That's what today's episode is all about. Welcome to this special learning journey, where we are going to explore 30 powerful phrases that can make your daily communication in English sound natural and confident. We'll do this step by step, part by part, and by the end, you'll not only know these phrases, but you'll also know how to use them without thinking too much. So let's dive into our very first set of phrases. Phrase 1. What's up? This phrase is one of the simplest and most common ways to greet someone. It doesn't literally mean, what is above your head? Instead, it means, how are you? Or, what are you doing? It's casual, friendly, and used all over the world. For example, imagine you see your friend at a cafe. Instead of saying, hello, how are you today? You can just smile and say, hey, what's up? Your friend might answer, not much, just having coffee. What about you? See how natural and easy that sounds? Now, here's a little tip. If someone asks you, what's up? You don't need to give a long answer. You can simply reply with short expressions like, nothing much, or just chilling, or all good. So next time, don't overthink your greeting. Just try confident. What's up? Phrase 2. I'm getting ready. This phrase is extremely useful in your daily routine. You might use it when someone calls you in the morning and asks what you are doing. Instead of saying, I am in the process of preparing myself to go somewhere, you can just say, I'm getting ready. For example, imagine your mother knocks on the door and says, are you coming? We're leaving in 10 minutes. You can respond, yes, I'm getting ready. Short, simple, and clear. Another mini story. Picture this. You are supposed to go out with friends, and they keep messaging you, where are you? Are you coming? And you text them back, relax, I'm getting ready. It immediately shows you're in the middle of your routine. This phrase connects with real life because every day we get ready for something. School, work, gym, or even just relaxing at home. Phrase 3. I'm on my way. How many times do you need to tell someone you are coming? In English, the natural way to say it is, I'm on my way. It's much better than saying, I'm coming now to your place. For instance, imagine you are late for a meeting and your colleague texts you, hey, where are you? You can reply, don't worry, I'm on my way. It instantly gives them the message that you have already started moving. One more example. A friend calls you and asks, when will you be here? Instead of saying, I have already started my travel and soon I will reach, you can simply say, relax, I'm on my way. This phrase is short, but it carries a lot of confidence. Try using it the next time you are traveling to meet someone. Phrase 4. I'm running late. This phrase is one of the most polite and practical ways to let someone know you are delayed. Instead of saying, I am very sorry, but due to heavy traffic and other problems I cannot reach on time, you can just say, I'm running late. For example, you are supposed to meet your teacher at 10 o'clock, but it's already 10:05 and you're still in the bus. You can call and say, hello, I'm really sorry, I'm running late. I'll be there soon. Another situation. Suppose you are invited to a family dinner. You were supposed to arrive at 7 o'clock, but at 7:15 you're still looking for a taxi. You can send a message. Hi, just wanted to let you know, I'm running late, but I'll be there. It's polite, it's respectful, and it shows you value the other person's time. Phrase 5. Let's catch up. This phrase is a warm and friendly way to suggest meeting someone and talking after a long time. It's not about chasing someone or literally catching them. It's about reconnecting. For example, imagine you meet an old school friend after years and you say, wow, it's been so long. Let's catch up sometime this week. That means, let's meet, talk, and share what's new in our lives. Another example. Maybe you are busy with work and your friend messages, "Hey, we haven't talked in ages." You can reply, "Yes, true. Let's catch up this weekend." This phrase feels friendly, natural, and inviting. It's a way to strengthen your connections without sounding too formal. Now, before we move forward, let's pause and reflect. We just learned 5 extremely common and powerful English phrases. What's up? I'm getting ready. I'm on my way. I'm running late. And let's catch up. Each one is simple, but when you use them in the right moment, they make your English sound alive, natural, and confident. Think about your own daily routine. Can you imagine yourself using these phrases? Can you see yourself texting a friend, calling your family, or talking to a colleague with these exact words? If yes, then congratulations, you've already taken the first step to bringing English into your daily life. In the next part, we'll go even deeper and learn more phrases that will help you handle different situations, from asking for help to expressing your feelings naturally. But for now, let these 5 phrases sink in. Practice them, repeat them, and try to imagine small situations in your life where you can use them. The more you practice, the more natural they will feel. This was just the beginning of our journey into 30 powerful daily life phrases. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll explore more expressions and build your confidence even further. You're listening to the English Diary podcast. We already explored 5 useful daily life phrases. What's up? I'm getting ready. I'm on my way. I'm running late. And let's catch up. These are the kind of expressions you can use every single day. And today, we'll add 5 more phrases to your collection. Imagine how much more confident you'll feel once you can use not just 5, but 10 natural English phrases without hesitation. So let's begin with our very first phrase of the day. Phrase 6, sounds good. This phrase is a quick and friendly way to agree with someone's plan or suggestion. It's not formal like, "That seems acceptable to me." It's short, casual, and warm. For example, your friend says, "Let's meet at 5 p.m. near the cafe." Instead of saying, "Yes, that plan is okay for me," you can simply say, "Sounds good." Another example. Imagine your colleague says, "We'll discuss the project tomorrow." You can smile and respond, "Sounds good." It shows agreement without extra effort. Mini story. A friend invites you to go for a walk in the park. You're free, and you like the idea. You don't need to explain too much. Just a cheerful, "Sounds good," and the conversation feels smooth. Phrase 7, no worries. This phrase is one of the friendliest ways to tell someone, "It's okay, don't stress about it." Instead of saying, "Do not be concerned, it is fine," you can just say, "No worries." For example, someone accidentally bumps into you and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Instead of making it awkward, you smile and say, "No worries." Another situation. A colleague forgets to send you an email on time and apologizes. You can reply, "No worries, just send it now." It shows you are calm and understanding. Mini story. Your younger brother accidentally drops your pen. He says, "Sorry, I didn't mean to." Instead of being angry, you say kindly, "No worries, it happens." This small phrase reduces stress in conversations. Phrase 8, I'm not sure. Sometimes we don't know the answer, but we hesitate. We don't want to sound weak, so we start giving long explanations. Instead, just use, "I'm not sure." It's simple and honest. For example, someone asks you, "Where's the nearest bank?" Instead of guessing or giving a long reply, you can say, "I'm not sure, but I think it's down the street." Another example. Your friend asks, "Do you know if the teacher will give us homework today?" You can reply, "I'm not sure, let's wait and see." Mini story. Imagine you're at work, and a new colleague asks you something about the company's rules. You don't want to give the wrong answer. You can simply say, "I'm not sure, but you can check with HR." See how respectful and clear that sounds? Phrase 9, it's up to you. This phrase is very powerful when you want to give someone the choice. Instead of saying, "The decision depends on your personal preference," just say, "It's up to you." For example, You and your friend are deciding where to eat. Your friend asks, pizza or burgers? You reply, I'm fine with anything. It's up to you. Another situation. A colleague asks, should we start now or later? You can say, it's up to you. It shows flexibility and cooperation. Mini story. Imagine you're planning a movie night with your family. Everyone is arguing about which movie to watch. You don't want to argue. You smile and say, it's up to you. Suddenly the tension disappears because you've handed the choice to them. Phrase 10. I don't feel like it. This phrase is useful when you want to politely refuse something because you're not in the mood. It's much softer than just saying, no, I don't want to. For example, your friend asks, do you want to go out tonight? But you're tired. You can reply, sorry, I don't feel like it. Another situation. Your brother suggests watching a scary movie, but you're not in the mood. You can say, not today, I don't feel like it. Mini story. Imagine you've had a long day at work and your roommate says, let's cook something new tonight. You smile and reply, honestly, I don't feel like it. Maybe tomorrow? This phrase shows your feelings without being rude. Now let's pause for a moment and reflect. These 5 phrases, sounds good, no worries, I'm not sure, it's up to you, and I don't feel like it, are simple, but they cover so many real-life situations. You can agree politely, you can forgive easily, you can express doubt, you can give freedom of choice, and you can even refuse politely. That's the beauty of these expressions. The next time you're in a real conversation, try to use at least one of these phrases. Don't just keep them in your notebook or memory. Bring them into your daily life. For example, if a friend invites you to dinner, practice saying, sounds good. If someone apologizes, try saying, no worries. Remember, English is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about connection. And small, natural phrases like these help you connect with people faster than long, complicated sentences. So, we now have 10 phrases in our collection. 5 from part 1 and 5 new ones from today's episode. Slowly, phrase by phrase, you are building a real toolbox for daily conversations. And we're not done yet. In the next part, we will explore more expressions that will help you show emotions, ask for help, and manage everyday situations with confidence. Stay tuned, keep practicing, and remember, every time you use one of these phrases, you're not just speaking English, you're living it. You're listening to the English Diary podcast. Think about this. Every single day, we face situations where words matter. Sometimes we need to express excitement, sometimes disappointment, sometimes just simple agreement. And the people who sound most natural in English aren't always the ones with the biggest vocabulary. They're the ones who know the right phrase at the right time. In the first 2 parts, we explored 10 phrases. You already know how to say things like, what's up, I'm on my way, sounds good, and no worries. That's an amazing start. And today, we'll take it further with 5 more powerful daily phrases. So let's dive right in. Phrase 11, that's awesome. This phrase is used to show excitement, happiness, or approval. Instead of just saying good or okay, you can make your reaction bigger with that's awesome. For example, your friend says, I just got a new job. You can reply, wow, that's awesome. Another example, your younger sister tells you, I won first place in the school competition. You can smile and say, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. Mini story. Imagine you're talking to a colleague and they share that the company gave them a bonus. You don't want to sound flat or boring. So instead of saying, good for you, you say, that's awesome. And suddenly your energy matches their excitement. Phrase 12, I'm just kidding. This phrase is extremely useful when you make a joke or a light comment and want to show you're not serious. For example, if you tell your friend, you always eat too much pizza, and they look shocked, you can laugh and say, relax, I'm just kidding. Another example, at work, you say to your colleague, I think you should do all the work today. Then you quickly add with a smile, don't worry, I'm just kidding. Mini story. Imagine you're chatting with a family member and you make a small joke about how long they take to get ready. Before they take it the wrong way, you add, "Hey, I'm just kidding." This phrase helps you keep the conversation light and friendly. Phrase 13. I can't wait. This phrase expresses excitement about something that will happen in the future. It's much more natural than saying, I am very eager to experience this event. For example, your friend says, our vacation starts next week. You can reply, I can't wait. Another example. Your family is planning to celebrate your birthday. Someone says, we've got a surprise for you. You smile and say, oh, I can't wait. Mini story. Imagine you bought tickets for a concert of your favorite singer. Every day you think about it. When your friend asks if you're excited, you reply, of course, I can't wait. It shows your enthusiasm in a natural way. Phrase 14. It doesn't matter. This phrase is useful when something is not important or when you want to show that you're not upset. Instead of saying, the situation is not of importance, you can just say, it doesn't matter. For example, imagine you drop a spoon during dinner. Your friend apologizes. You can smile and say, don't worry, it doesn't matter. Another situation. Your colleague forgets to bring you a pen and says sorry. You reply kindly, it's fine, it doesn't matter. Mini story. Imagine you're watching a movie with friends and the internet connection cuts for a moment. Someone apologizes. You say, relax, it doesn't matter. Let's just restart it. This phrase reduces stress and keeps the mood light. Phrase 15. Take care. This is one of the warmest and most common ways to say goodbye while showing care for the other person. Instead of just saying bye, you can say take care. For example, you finish a phone call with your friend. Instead of ending coldly, you say, okay, talk to you later. Take care. Another example. A family member is leaving for work in the morning. You wave and say, take care. It shows love and concern. Mini story. Imagine your cousin is traveling late at night. You text them, have a safe journey. Take care. That one small phrase shows you care about their safety and well-being. Now let's take a breath. We've added 5 more useful phrases to our growing list. That's awesome. I'm just kidding. I can't wait. It doesn't matter. And take care. These expressions are small but powerful. They make your emotions clear, they keep conversations friendly, and they show warmth. Imagine how your daily conversations will sound once you start mixing these phrases with the ones you already know. Instead of sounding like a textbook, you'll sound like a real person connecting with others. Here's a little challenge for you. Over the next 24 hours, try using at least one of these phrases. If your friend shares good news, say, that's awesome. If you're joking with your family, add, I'm just kidding. Before you end a call, say, take care. Small steps, but big progress. And remember, learning English isn't about memorizing long lists. It's about practicing in real life. With each phrase, you're not just learning words. You're building habits of natural communication. So now, we have 15 phrases in total. 5 from today, 10 from the earlier episodes. We are halfway through our journey to 30 phrases. In the next part, we'll move deeper and learn expressions that will help you handle surprises, show gratitude, and even ask for help in a polite way. Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep living English every single day. You're listening to the English Diary podcast. So far in our journey, we've collected 15 powerful phrases. From what's up to take care, you now have a set of tools for greetings, for making plans, for showing emotions, and for ending conversations warmly. And today, we're going to add 5 more phrases that will help you handle surprises, gratitude, and polite requests. Let's dive in. Phrase 16. Guess what? This phrase is used when you want to create excitement or curiosity before sharing some news. It's like building a little suspense. For example, you call your friend and say, guess what? I got the job. Another example, you walk into the house and tell your family, guess what? Our cousin is coming to visit. Immediately, they feel curious and excited. Mini story. Imagine you've been waiting for exam results. When you finally get the news, you call your best friend and say, "Guess what? I passed with flying colors." This phrase works like a spark. It makes your news feel bigger and more fun. Phrase 17. Thank you so much. Now, of course, you know how to say thank you. But adding so much makes it warmer, more sincere, more human. For example, someone holds the door open for you. Instead of just saying thanks, you smile and say, "Thank you so much." Another situation. A colleague helps you complete a difficult task. You can say, "Thank you so much, I really appreciate it." Mini story. Imagine your friend surprises you with a birthday gift. Your eyes shine and you say, "Wow, thank you so much." This phrase makes people feel valued because your gratitude feels real. Phrase 18. Could you please? This phrase is one of the politest ways to ask for help. Instead of just saying, "Give me that" or "Do this," you can soften your request with, "Could you please?" For example, "Could you please pass me the salt?" Sounds so much better than "Give me the salt." Another example. You're in a library and you need help finding a book. You can politely ask, "Excuse me, could you please help me find this?" Mini story. Imagine you're traveling in a new city. You want someone to take your photo. You walk up with a smile and say, "Hi, could you please take a picture of me?" The phrase makes your request gentle and respectful. Phrase 19. I really appreciate it. This phrase is another way to show gratitude, but it goes deeper than thank you. It tells the other person that their effort truly matters to you. For example, your teacher spends extra time helping you understand a lesson. You can say, "Thank you so much, I really appreciate it." Another example. A colleague stays late to help you finish a project. You can say warmly, "You didn't have to, but I really appreciate it." Mini story. Imagine your neighbor waters your plants while you are away. When you return, you say, "I really appreciate it. That was so kind of you." This phrase makes people feel respected for their effort. Phrase 20. Don't worry about it. This phrase is the opposite of stress. You use it when someone is apologizing or feeling bad, and you want to tell them it's okay. For example, someone forgets to return your book on time. They say, "I'm so sorry." You smile and say, "Don't worry about it." Another example. A waiter makes a small mistake with your order, but quickly fixes it. When they apologize, you say kindly, "Don't worry about it." Mini story. Imagine your younger brother accidentally breaks your old cup. He looks scared and says, "I'm really sorry." Instead of getting angry, you put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Don't worry about it." This phrase reduces tension and spreads kindness. And now, let's pause for a moment. Think about the power of these 5 new phrases. Guess what? Thank you so much. Could you please? I really appreciate it. And don't worry about it. Each one is like a social key. They open doors to smoother, kinder, and warmer conversations. With these phrases, you can surprise people, you can express gratitude deeply, you can ask politely, and you can forgive easily. These are not just words. They are attitudes, habits, reflections of kindness and respect. Now you have 20 phrases in your pocket. 10 from earlier, 5 from the last part, and 5 new ones from today. That's 2/3 of our journey. Imagine yourself using these phrases tomorrow, in your office, in your school, with your family, with strangers. Imagine how natural and confident you'll sound. And here's a small tip. Don't try to use all of them at once. Just pick 1 or 2 and repeat them in real conversations. The more you repeat, the more natural they become. In the next episode, we'll move forward with 5 more phrases that will help you manage emotions like surprise, agreement, and encouragement. You'll see how small expressions can make you sound more alive, more present, and more connected in every conversation. Until then, practice what we've learned so far, and remember, it's the little phrases that build big confidence. Here's a little secret. When people remember conversations, they don't always remember the details. They remember how you made them feel. And feelings are often carried by the small, natural phrases we use. Phrases that show support, surprise, or encouragement. In this part of our journey, we'll add 5 more daily life expressions that will help you sound kind, confident, and natural in English. So far, we've collected 20 phrases: greetings, polite requests, gratitude, and emotional expressions. Now, let's make our collection even stronger with the next set of 5 phrases. Phrase 21. Are you kidding me? This phrase is used when you are surprised, sometimes in a funny way, sometimes in a shocked way. It doesn't mean you actually think the other person is joking. It's just a natural reaction to unexpected news. For example, your friend says, I met a famous actor at the mall today. You can reply, are you kidding me? That's amazing. Another example. Your little brother says, I ate 10 burgers in one sitting. You might laugh and say, are you kidding me? Mini story. Imagine your colleague tells you, our boss approved a week off for everyone. You blink in surprise and say, are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. This phrase makes your reaction feel alive and genuine. Phrase 22. That makes sense. This phrase is used to show agreement or understanding. Instead of just nodding or saying, okay, you can say, that makes sense. It shows you really understand what the other person is explaining. For example, your teacher explains a difficult topic, and suddenly it becomes clear. You can say, that makes sense now. Another example. Your friend explains why they were late. Maybe traffic or a bus delay. You can respond, oh, that makes sense. Mini story. Imagine your colleague tells you that the project deadline was extended because of budget issues. You listen and say, yes, that makes sense. It shows you're listening carefully and understanding. Phrase 23. I'll give it a try. This phrase shows willingness. It means you're not completely confident, but you're ready to attempt something. Instead of saying, I will attempt this task even though I am unsure, you can simply say, I'll give it a try. For example, your friend suggests playing a new game you've never played. You can say, sure, I'll give it a try. Another example. Your teacher asks you to solve a tough question. You can reply, I'm not sure, but I'll give it a try. Mini story. Imagine you're learning how to cook a new recipe. Your mother says, why don't you make it yourself this time? You laugh and say, okay, I'll give it a try. This phrase shows courage and positivity. Phrase 24. I'm proud of you. This phrase is one of the most powerful ways to encourage and appreciate someone. It shows you recognize their effort and achievement. For example, your friend says, I finally finished my first marathon. You can smile and say, wow, I'm proud of you. Another example. Your child brings home a good grade. You hug them and say warmly, I'm proud of you. Mini story. Imagine your colleague stands up to give their first big presentation. Afterward, you go to them and say, you did great. I'm proud of you. That one phrase can boost their confidence for a long time. Phrase 25. You've got this. This phrase is used to encourage someone who feels nervous or unsure. It's like saying, don't worry, you can do it. For example, your friend is about to go on stage for a performance. You pat their shoulder and say, relax, you've got this. Another example. Your sibling is preparing for a tough exam. You tell them, don't stress, you've got this. Mini story. Imagine your colleague is about to attend a job interview. They look nervous. You smile and say, believe in yourself. You've got this. This phrase fills people with energy and hope. Let's pause here. These 5 phrases, are you kidding me? That makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'm proud of you. And you've got this are emotional tools. They help you react with surprise, show understanding, attempt challenges, encourage others, and give support. Think about how powerful that is. English is not only about asking and answering questions. It's about building relationships. And these phrases do exactly that. They make people feel heard, valued, and supported. So now, we have 25 phrases in our collection. You've come so far in this journey. From greetings like "What's up" to supportive phrases like "You've got this." You're building a real, practical toolbox of English expressions for everyday life. In the next episode, we'll finish this journey with the last 5 phrases. And these final ones will help you close conversations, express care, and leave people with positive feelings. Keep practicing, keep trying, and keep living English in your daily moments. You're listening to the English Diary podcast. We'll complete our collection with the final 5 phrases. These are phrases that will help you close conversations warmly, express care, and leave people with a positive feeling. Let's dive right into them. Phrase 26. Long time no see. This phrase is a casual and cheerful way to greet someone you haven't met in a while. It's friendly, and it immediately brings a smile. For example, you meet an old friend on the street. You say, "Hey, long time no see." Another example. You join a family gathering and spot a cousin you haven't seen for months. You smile and say, "Wow, long time no see." Mini story. Imagine you walk into a cafe and suddenly see your old school teacher. You're surprised but happy. So you walk up and say, "Long time no see, sir. How have you been?" The phrase makes the meeting warm and natural. Phrase 27. Better late than never. This phrase is used when something happens later than expected, but you're still happy it happened. It's positive and forgiving. For example, your friend finally returns a book months after borrowing it. You smile and say, "Better late than never." Another example. A colleague arrives very late to a meeting, but you still appreciate that they showed up. You say kindly, "Better late than never." Mini story. Imagine your cousin forgets your birthday, but calls you the next day. Instead of being upset, you laugh and say, "Better late than never." It shows kindness and humor. Phrase 28. It's not a big deal. This phrase is perfect for making a situation feel lighter when someone is worried or apologizing. It's another way to say, "Don't stress, it's okay." For example, someone spills water on your table and says, "I'm so sorry." You smile and reply, "Relax, it's not a big deal." Another example. Your friend is late to meet you and feels guilty. You can say, "Don't worry, it's not a big deal." Mini story. Imagine your sibling forgets to buy something from the store. They apologize. Instead of getting upset, you wave your hand and say, "It's not a big deal. We'll get it tomorrow." This phrase calms the mood. Phrase 29. Have a good one. This phrase is a casual and friendly way to say goodbye. It can mean have a good day, have a good evening, or simply take care. For example, you finish talking to the shopkeeper. As you leave, you say, "Thanks. Have a good one." Another example. You end a phone call with a friend and say, "All right, talk later. Have a good one." Mini story. Imagine you're leaving the office at the end of the day. You smile at your colleagues and say, "Bye, everyone. Have a good one." It leaves a positive and cheerful note. Phrase 30. See you later. This phrase is a very common and warm way to say goodbye, especially when you expect to meet the person again soon. For example, you leave a friend's house and say, "Okay, see you later." Another example. You're ending a casual conversation with your classmate. You wave and say, "See you later." Mini story. Imagine you're leaving a cafe after hanging out with friends. You stand up, grab your bag, and say with a smile, "See you later, everyone." It feels casual, friendly, and real. And with that, we've reached the end of our list. 30 powerful phrases for daily life. Let's quickly reflect on what we've learned. From greetings like "What's up" and "Long time no see" to polite requests like "Could you please?" to warm expressions like "I'm proud of you" and "You've got this," you now have a complete toolbox for natural daily conversations in English. These are not just words, they're habits. They're signals of kindness, respect, and confidence. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. And soon, you won't even think about translation. The phrases will simply flow, as if English has become a natural part of your daily routine. So here's my final tip for you. Don't just listen. Practice. Every day, pick one phrase. Use it at least 3 times in real conversations. It doesn't matter if it's with friends, family, colleagues, or even yourself in front of a mirror. Repetition is the key. The more you repeat, the stronger your confidence will grow. And now, as we close this journey, I want to remind you of one thing. Language is not about perfection, it's about connection. When you use these phrases, you're not just learning English. You're building bridges, you're making people feel heard, and you're opening doors to opportunities. So go out there, live these phrases, make them yours. And remember, every small step you take in English is a giant leap toward confidence. You've just completed the full journey of 30 English phrases for daily life. You're listening to the English Diary podcast.